Hi, my name is Sky and I'm a vampire VTuber, and today we're watching The Male Loser Epidemic by ShoeOnHead. I'm super excited about this video. I've been a ShoeOnHead watcher for a while now. Let's get right into it.
Hello again, friends. Sorry I've been gone for quite a bit. Hopefully nothing too crazy happened. I feel like every time I take a break, like, a war breaks out or something, but thankfully that did not happen.
Yeah, don't worry, nothing happened. Nothing important. Do not ask a VTuber fan what happened in July 2025.
But at least we found out the real Epstein files were the friends we made along the way. Welcome
Yes.
back to the ShoeOnHead channel. If it is your first
True.
time here, run. I am ShoeOnHead, and on this channel I like to cover cultural issues mostly surrounding men's issues. It's what I've been doing for over a decade, and frankly, I'm exhausted. Many of you have been along for the ride, and you have seen me go from a triple lively...
I remember this video. I've been watching Shue since 2016 or 17, I think. I've been watching her for a long time. Some people don't believe me. They think that just because I'm a VTuber and I reacted to her video, that means I am new to her stuff, but I'm not. I'm a true fan. I'm an OG.
24-year-old making fun of BuzzFeed and Tumblr feminists, to a bitter, calloused 34-year-old talking about very real and growing men's issues. One of the main men's issues I have been covering in great detail lately has been the male loneliness epidemic. Yeah, but turns out I was wrong. We don't have a male loneliness epidemic. We have a male loser epidemic. It's not a male loneliness epidemic. No, it's a male mediocrity epidemic. It's a male loser epidemic.
The male loser epidemic has gotten so bad that it's honestly so pathetic at this point.
Okay.
Now, I don't always talk about men's issues. No, sometimes I talk about politics, and sometimes I mix the two together. Now, I know a lot of you don't like politics. You don't care about politics. But politics cares about you, and it will enter your life no matter how hard you try to avoid it. But thankfully, I have the perfect app to help you navigate this difficult, confusing political landscape. So let's quickly give a shout out to today's sponsor, Ground News, before we get into this video, shall we? Ground News is a website and an app that gives readers a fun and transparent way to read the news from all across the political spectrum, from left, right, and center. Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of the political bias, ownership, and headlines that helps you understand the full story and make sure you're getting both sides. One of my favorite features from Ground News...
I'm sorry, I know I've said that before when I reacted to Shue, but her makeup is so good. I don't know why, but her makeup during her ad reads always eats.
has to be the blind spot feature, which shows you news stories that have been covered by only one side of the political spectrum and ignored by the other. For example, here is a story about how the CIA uncovered a Russiagate fraud, and right away we can see how it has been covered by 41 sources, and out of those 41 sources, 93% of them lean right, with only 2 left-wing outlets reporting the story. Ground News also makes it really easy to compare headlines to see just how political bias can affect the framing of a story. For example, this story about Zoran Mamdani winning the Democratic primary in New York. This left-leaning outlet says Zoran Mamdani's win just got a little sweeter. And meanwhile, the right-wing outlet says, meet Zoran Mamdani, the man who will ruin New York.
That's a bit dramatic.
See, very different vibes.
Yeah.
I've been using Ground News since 2021 because I think it is so informative, so fun, and it helps me see how different stories are framed so differently, and I love it. I highly recommend it. It's one of the few apps that I wake up and just immediately check. But don't just take my word for it. Even the Nobel Peace Center called it an excellent way to stay informed, avoid echo chambers, and expand your worldview.
Wow.
High praise. Best of all, I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the plan I use to access all of their amazing features. This comes out to only like $5 a month, which is like the price of a coffee. So go to
the price. Oh, Twitch sub. Our YouTube sub. I mean, Sorry.
brown.news/shoe, or use the QR code right there on screen, or the link in the video description down there to subscribe to Ground News today. I feel like what they're doing is really important, especially right now, and it helps us approach the news in a more fair and balanced way. So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad.
I didn't.
Right?
I
let's
always
get back
watch
to the
the
video.
ads.
With all these issues men are facing, they seem to be moving to the right and the Republicans more, since the left and Democrats have essentially just become the young men eat and die movement. Months ago, I covered how the Democratic Party was losing young men, and I predicted Kamala Harris would lose in part because of young men overwhelmingly voting for Trump. And I was correct. Well, now the Democrats have unveiled their final solution to the right-wing.
I've actually seen a study about this, which is very interesting, which basically says the exact same thing, except for women. Usually women between 18 and 29 are actually more left-leaning, while men who are around the same age tend to be more right-leaning, which I think is interesting.
Male loser epidemic. Democrats spending millions to learn how to speak to American men and win back the working class. Democrats have blown millions of dollars on efforts to appeal to American men who turned to President Donald Trump in droves on Election Day in hopes of winning back the working class. Democrats have spent $20 million on their efforts.
$20 million?
Strategists holding up in luxury
That's insane.
hotel rooms, brainstorming how to convince working class men to return to the party. Ah yes, nothing more relatable to working class men than luxury hotel rooms. Great job, guys. The plan? Codename SAM, or Speaking with American Men, a strategic plan, promises to use the funds to study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and virality in these spaces. The effort—
Well, I don't think it's working that well. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know where those $20 million went, but clearly, it's not working.
It also recommends Democrats buy advertisement in video games, among other things. The Democratic Party is treating young men like exotic animals they're studying. Now, as you can see here, is the young man in his natural habitat, in a dark, messy cave surrounded by Taco Bell wrappers and empty Mountain Dew bottles. Here is another young man, as you can see, also dwelling in a dark cave. This one has dyed his hair blue to scare off potential predators. Unfortunately, it also scares off potential mates, but moving on.
Does he have a braless wife that brings him a sandwich while he gets a kill in the 2-bot lane?
Here is another young man,
Oh.
we think. We're not quite sure about this one. We're still studying it. Listen, Democrats, instead of spending $20 million to do that stupid maybe you should, I don't know, actually listen to men. I listen to men for free all the time. All I have to do is read my comment section. Let's see here. ShoeOnHead is a perfect example of why we need to repeal the 19th. Greetings from Albania.
What's the 19th?
Yeah, I hate women so much, it's unreal.
Oh. All right.
Ooh, Shoe, mommy, milkies, milkies.
Okay, I actually get. You know what? The hating women one, I never got that one, but I did get the mummy one a lot, so I can relate to that. I don't know why, by the way. Why do you guys call me mommy? There's nothing mommy about me.
Mommy, mommy, mommy. One time I got my penis stuck in a soda bottle. Okay.
That must have been a fun trip to the ER.
Second thought, maybe my comment section is not the best source.
Trump scored big with young male voters last election. Democrats are spending $20 million to learn how to speak their language. I think it's a waste of money. Maybe these guys should spend their money on teaching men to not be such sexists. Maybe that's it.
But the stats don't bear that out now. Look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash.
I I don't think that's the issue.
Oh no. The very night I was sitting on my couch writing the script to my video about how the Democrats are spending $20 million to relate to young men, this came on my TV on Fox News. A Tommy Lahren and Laura Ingraham segment about stay-at-home sons, men who still live at home. Literally minutes after this.
In this economy, I don't blame you for still living at home while you're in your 20s or perhaps your 30s. Because everything is so expensive. And in my opinion, that is why people are not having babies anymore. It's too expensive. Marriage is expensive. Weddings are expensive. Babies are so expensive. And yet, the blame is on men.
Aired, it went absolutely viral on Twitter for not good reasons. So we are going to unpack this piece by piece. Because even though everyone was mocking it and making fun of it, as far as I saw, nobody was really dissecting it and breaking down exactly why she was so egregiously wrong. So come join me in debunking the male loser epidemic. Because who else better equipped to talk about men's issues than two stupid blonde bimbos? Hold on a second.
Wow. Damn,
Three
sure.
stupid blonde bimbos. Sorry. I felt left out. All right, let's go. Wait. I need my gamer fuel. See? I do drink it. That one's for you, Tectone.
It's a major problem. And you know, Speaker Johnson has been talking about those maybe deadbeat folks that are on Medicaid, and maybe some of those folks are the stay-at-home sons. We don't know. But I'll tell you this, leave it to Gen Z to rebrand laziness and social awkwardness as something cutesy, like a stay-at-home son. But Laura, I gotta tell you this.
What's wrong with staying at home? That's why I don't get. Maybe I'm too European for this. I also stay at home. I'm not a stay-at-home son. I don't live with my parents, but I work from home because I'm a VTuber. What's wrong with that?
This is also a big problem when it comes to, I think, declining birth rates, people not getting married and having children. You know, that's a big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates and a lot of other problems in society. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air, meet people in real life. Let's just get back to basics.
She literally said, you guys should touch grass more, and then everything will be solved.
So first of all, this stay-at-home son thing is not a real thing. It was a random throwaway, self-deprecating joke some contestant on Jeopardy said. One guy, because I guess there's nothing else important going on that they could cover on the news. They literally made this into a fake phenomena so they can on young men. Meanwhile, Democrats are spending millions of dollars trying to win back young men. Oh no, the young men are leaving us in droves. How do we get them back? Don't worry, I got this. Hey, you fat, lazy, Cheeto dust-covered slobs. F you. Nice. Thanks. I love you.
I love the nose piercing attention. But you're missing the blue hair though. Where's the blue hair?
I love you too.
Oh. Yuri and my ShoeOnHead video? Whoa.
Is the amount of young men living home with their parents in...
Okay, that was insane. But to be honest, who didn't do that with their dolls when they were young? No, just me? Okay. My bad.
Increasing? Yes. Is it because they're lazy bums and just want to order DoorDash all day? No. And also, they're not paying for DoorDash, Tommy. They're financing it. Come on. Get with the times.
There are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air.
Have either of you tried
I think lots of people actually have jobs and still stay with their parents because they want to save. Because it's not that easy to get a home or an apartment, right?
applying for a job as a young man recently? Or tried buying a house on the salary of one of these young men? Have you experienced the dating market, been on the dating sites as a young man? No? Interesting, okay. Just wondering. Listen, I know the average age of a Fox News viewer is like 70 nowadays, and you need to pander to them, but Tommy, you are like 2 years younger than me. You know this shit isn't true. Why are you talking like this? Why are you talking like a f***ing boomer? I'm sorry, I have no
Yeah, it's a bit more complicated than she makes it seem.
other word for this, but I hate this like generational pick-me shit. I was born in the wrong generation. I'm not like those other young people. And you know what? She's not like those other young people. Not all young people can afford a nice nose job and lip filler and get a cushy job on Fox News based entirely on merit, I'm sure. The main problem with this brain-dead boomer-ass take is not only
She's
is it
going
cringe,
off
but it's
on
completely
her.
divorced from reality. This slot
Yeah.
is specifically designed for people who paid like $5 for a f***ing house. And listen, not all boomers, okay? My parents are boomers, they are lovely people. A lot of you guys are boomers, but when the baby boomer generation sends its people, it is not sending their best. They are not sending you. They're sending people who have lots of problems. They're bringing the housing crisis. They're bringing wage stagnation.
I actually wonder how many boomers watch me. I gotta check that.
They're falling for AI-generated photos on Facebook. But some, I assume, are good people. But my god, I truly believe they do not understand how good they had it. They could support a family on a single income. A single income from a job that didn't require a
Exactly.
college degree. Their leaders
Exactly.
didn't prostitute away their economic future for some cheap plastic shit from China. They inherited the greatest economy known to man. And they pretend it's a paradise that they earned. I just don't understand, like,
Yeah.
why don't boomers and spiritual boomers like Tommy Lauren see people struggling and go, wow, I wish I could fix this. They should have it better than I had it. And you wonder why so many millennials and zoomers don't want kids. I want to make the
Exactly. That's exactly what I said at the beginning of the video. Everything is too expensive. You can't afford a house. You can barely afford rent. How do you want us to have children?
world a better place for my children. I want to make the world a better place for my children. Ugh. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you spoiled brat. Children. Not happening.
Okay, but that is okay. But hold up,
Brat. Children.
that is kind of me. I love my fur babies. They're perfect.
Not happening.
Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men.
Young men are becoming
This is like kind of weird because I think the average woman, at least from my experience, doesn't want a hyper masculine man with tons of muscles who is like on steroids or something like that. I think the average woman, what she cares more about is having someone that actually treats her right, actually cares about her, actually spends time with her, actually appreciates her as a human being more than, oh wow, he has big muscles.
lazy because they're becoming feminized. So they're becoming lazy because they act more like women? What did she mean by this, chat? I know there's like
Yeah,
a decrease in
true.
testosterone or something happening, but men are moving right-wing all over the world. Does that correlate with the feminization? Or, I mean, there are suspiciously a lot of far-right femboys, so maybe.
Yes, I've seen that. Twitter.
Here's the thing, Tammy. There is absolutely no evidence that young women want to start families more than young men. None. In fact, all the data says the exact f***ing opposite. According to Pew Research, 64% of women younger than 50 say they just don't want to have children. No reason, they just don't want them. Versus 50% of men who say the same. Another
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I understand that. I'm also in that percentage. I know I have many friends who are. I have many friends who work in childcare and they can imagine themselves being a mom and taking care of children. Meanwhile, I'm just more focused on being an anime girl on the internet and taking care of my fur babies. Just different priorities, I guess.
Study by Archbridge Institute shows the same. 63% of women without children said they have no desire to have a child, while only 50% of men said the same. For men, the most commonly cited factor was personal finance. But among women, the strongest reason not to have a child was their desire to maintain their personal independence.
I think that's the thing. It's so much work to have a child. And if I feel like nowadays people are understanding a bit more that it is so much freaking work. And most people just don't want to do that. They want to focus on themselves first. How can I have children when I can barely function on a day-to-day basis?
Basically, they don't want to give up their brunch and mimosas. They've been ass blasted with propaganda their whole lives.
I guess that's the one way to put it.
Their lives will be ruined. Their bodies will be ruined. They'll never have fun again. They'll be miserable forever if they have children. And as someone who has had a children, best decision I've ever made. 10/10, highly recommend.
Oh, she has
would
children?
do it again. But yes, this idea that men are the ones primarily responsible
I didn't know.
for the low birth rates is laughable. We're laughing over here. But honestly, it's not really women or men's fault. There are a lot of factors that play into this. But Tommy, I really gotta ask, is it men or is it you?
This is going to be the summer of canceling boys. All of my friends are attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on. Almost every single one of them have an issue with men. But if all of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think it might not be us.
This is so funny because I saw a tweet the other day that was basically saying the opposite of this. It was actually someone that was like, so I'm a man and my friend is 6 foot tall and he's a data scientist. So he has a pretty high position. He earns a lot of money. And yet he's single. What is wrong with women? And now it's like the reverse. Me and my female friends are all single. What is wrong with men? I don't know. It might be just you, okay? And being successful or whatever can help in relationship financially, but if you're not a good person, if you're not able to be responsible or be committed or, you know, care for other people, that is not going to make a huge difference. It's like a completely different thing to be a good partner than being someone who earns a lot of money.
It might be you. It is not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. Quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country.
My friends are successful. Men don't give a shit about that. They'd marry a Walmart cashier if she was nice to them.
I think men between the ages of 20 and 30 are not ready, in most cases, for marriage, are usually not ready to be husbands and fathers.
That's a cultural issue. So, look,
No, I would actually, back to your point, I think it's a biological thing.
Okay, now we're completely getting off topic. What? Is it because of low testosterone, whatever?
Let me get this straight. Men are all trash and won't commit and won't leave mommy's basement, and they're destroying the birth rates. But also, young men are biologically incapable of commitment and being parents. What? But wait, there's more! She also believes women don't have to bring anything to the table.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money. But I don't think a man needs to get something out.
This is so weird to me because she's talking about wanting a strong man that will provide, which is kind of a traditional view of marriage, right? And then she completely goes against that at the same time because she is calling all men trash and feminine. I'm really confused. Like, what I've seen usually is, oh yeah, men are all trash, and therefore I reject men and I do not want to get into traditional marriage. But somehow she's mixing both.
out of it to be a manly man, a protector, and a provider. If you think you need to get something out of it, I quite frankly don't consider you a real man.
Never before in history have women demanded so much and offered so little. So before we get deeper into this retarded, manufactured, stay-at-home son narrative, let's check the Facebook comments of this Fox News video, because I am really interested to see what, like, the typical Fox News viewer thinks about this.
Not sure
if the
about
women
the
are
slur.
anything like these two, I can hardly blame the men for staying home and not wanting to date them. Blame, blame, blame. These two women have a combined age of 93, and they have 0 children between both of them. You both have repugnant personality types, so listening to this was like male birth control to me.
Oh my god!
Goodness! Boomers are ruthless! Bunch of sissies. I served 6 years, 2 years in Southeast Asia after Vietnam was over. When I was 18, rent was $450 and I could afford to get my own place.
Yeah, exactly.
She's so spot on. Nothing screams I'm a loser run from me than a guy living at home in his parents' house with his 12-year-old boy's bedroom decor at age of 30. Thank God we raised our son.
Oh, yes. Sorry, you're 30. You can't be interested in childish things anymore. Yeah, all your Scooby-Doo Blu-rays, your SpongeBob plushies, anything that brings you joy, you should throw that away because you're an adult now. You should be boring. You should not have figurines or toys or DVDs or anything like that. You should have a dictionary and adult books.
To be men who grew up, lived on their own, found their soulmate, got married, bought a beautiful home, and started a family. I was out the door at 18, worked on the assembly line at Dodge and in the Air Force at 19, never went back home. I can't relate to this. Yes, we know you people can't relate. We know.
No one
but the
can.
world has changed. Why can't you people get this through your heads? I will never let my son stay home. I'm trying to push them out of the nest. Okay, I really gotta ask, is this an Anglo thing? Immediately kicking your kid out when they turn 18 years old? My Mediterranean mind cannot comprehend this. And honestly, why the f would a man leave home, leave his mother's cooking, for a woman who probably can't cook? Not me, though. Personally, I can cook amazing homemade meals.
I mean, he can also cook for himself. I think maybe this is controversial. You don't have to agree with me, but I think no matter what your gender is, you should always know how to cook. Because, you know, even if you're married right now, even if you are living with your girlfriend or your mom or whatever, there might be a point in time where you're alone and then you'll be struggling and that'll be hard. But if you know how to cook and how to take care of yourself, then at least you're prepared for those kind of situations.
You know I am a great trad wife.
I mean, I would eat that.
Bone apple tea.
I would eat that. It's only missing like French fries or something.
Now, unfortunately, Tommy Lauren wasn't the only one pushing this stupid lazy young men go get a job bullshit. Mike Johnson did it, referencing 29-year-old men playing video games all day. Steve Scalise did
What's
it
wrong
with
with you?
35-year-old
Video
men playing
games.
video games all day. And just the other night, I saw this on my TV. Again.
A Wall Street Journal headline got our attention. The new dream job for young men, stay-at-home son. It's a phrase taken off since 27-year-old Brendan Leo won $59,000 on Jeopardy. And he has a master's degree in political science, but he's unemployed. Grow up, get a job, get a wife, build a family.
Just get a wife, bro. Just get a job, bro.
That's like the funny thing with people that say get a job, touch grass, get a wife or whatever. Touching grass okay, but like getting a job in this economy, even people who have jobs can't even get a job. So I don't know.
Get a job? Yeah. Just get a job? Why don't I strap on my job helmet and squeeze down into a job cannon and fire off into job land where jobs grow on
Daddy DeVito, my
The term
goat.
welfare queen must have fell out of fashion with Republicans, because it seems even they know the approved safe demographic to go after now. Because it's very obvious what demographic they are talking about when they say young men in their basements playing video games. This just get a job lazy
What is wrong with
attitude
video
is not
games?
surprising, but it's especially funny coming from Fox News of all places. Fox News that spends so much time yapping about immigrants taking American jobs. Fox News will talk for years about how Americans are being screwed out of the workforce. But when this issue manifests itself in Gen Z, suddenly it's a moral failure. The fact is, a lot of American jobs held by men are being lost to automation, offshoring, and yes, cheap foreign labor. Companies and billionaires would rather have cheap labor that they can essentially abuse, not pay fair wages to, just good little worker drones who won't unionize, rather than hire American workers for a living wage. The cheaper the labor they hire, the more money they make. I remember when Bernie Sanders called open borders a Koch brothers conspiracy.
Open borders?
Foreign aid.
No,
Open borders.
that's a Koch brothers proposal, which says essentially there is no United States.
But it would,
Anybody
it
can,
would make a
excuse
lot
me,
of global poor richer, wouldn't it?
and it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state.
Where'd that guy go? A lot of these jobs being taken are jobs traditionally held by men, like construction and factory jobs, manual labor work. But it's not just manual labor jobs, it's also the tech industry and business industry, which are careers also mainly held by men. There are many examples of this, such as Microsoft recently cutting thousands of American workers while requesting 14,000 more H-1B workers this year. Some of those job positions include data scientists, which are 70% men, software developers, which are 80% men, and electronic engineers, which are 90% men, and many more like that. Another example of this was Tesla, where roughly 15,000 American employees were fired in April 2024, and many were replaced with H-1B visa holders. On Twitter, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy tried to chalk this up to these immigrants just simply being the best and the brightest. Yeah, okay. You're paying them less for longer hours and more work, and they're willing to deal with it in order to stay in the country. It's coercive.
This is kind of worrying because I feel like it's really exploitative. I'm not, what's really concerning me is not the taking jobs part. It's more so there are people that you just hire for cheap because, they don't have that many job opportunities, I guess, and they're being taken advantage of.
Exploitative, and dare I say, not very America first. When conservatives confronted Elon Musk for this last year, he told somebody, and I quote, "Take a big step back and yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend."
Does anyone even like Elon? Yeah. I feel like Elon now, in this day and age, is hated by everyone. So I don't know how much people value his opinion anymore.
Placing American workers in manual labor with cheap foreign labor, it's deport, deport, deport. But when it comes to replacing his American workers with cheap foreign labor, it's yourself in the face. Interesting. There's also affirmative action and DEI, which are other things
really
Fox
weird.
News always pisses and shits about. But suddenly, when the conversation is about Gen Z men, the demographic of people who are victims of these things, suddenly these things just don't exist anymore. Then it's, oh, young men are all just lazy. They just want to be in their parents' basement ordering DoorDash and playing video games. But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs.
That's crazy.
I'm not beating the allegations with this one. The brown people are not taking your jobs, okay? It's not their fault. They're just cheaper. Aim upwards. But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs. It's the women, too. Many of the dying industries are male-dominated, while many of the growing industries are female-dominated, and stigma around these jobs being woman jobs usually stops men from working them. Women are overwhelmingly entering and excelling in college and the workforce, and they're more flexible about job position and pay, while young men usually hold out for higher-paying, higher-position jobs that will make them the breadwinner. Because you see, despite the world progressing and the role of women changing, the role of men has not changed. Every woman is a feminist until the dinner bill comes. But what's crazy is, women might be the ones paying that dinner bill soon. A study from the UK found women aged 22 to 29 earned about 1,000 more annually than men, completely reversing the traditional gender pay gap for this age group. In the US,
yeah, that's the thing, which is kind of funny, is when people bring up the fact that, oh, women, are gold diggers. Women don't want to pay for anything. Women don't want to pay for dinner. Me personally, I kind of have the opposite that happens to me. I can pay for my dinner. Don't worry about it. I'm not looking for more money. I will not date you because you have more money. I'm good.
A 2022 Pew Research Center analysis showed that women under 30 out-earned men in many metropolitan areas, with median earnings at or above 100% of men's, in cities like New York and Washington, D.C. That may not sound like a lot of money now, but it's a growing trend that has never been seen before. It's so bad that it's really starting to affect the dating world. American women have never been this resigned to staying single. They are responding to major demographic shifts, including huge and growing gender gaps in economic and educational attainment, political affiliation, and beliefs about what family should look like. More women than men are attending college, buying houses, and focusing on their friendships and careers over dating and marriage. The challenges of finding a romantic partner have been made more complicated by a growing divide in education and career prospects between men and women. In 2024, 40% of American women ages 25 to 34 had a bachelor's degree, according to Pew, compared to 37% of men. A bachelor's degree increases net lifetime earnings by an estimated $1 million. Women are doing comparatively well when it comes to education in their early years in the labor force, and men are doing comparatively badly. Men's economic struggles seem to be having the biggest effect on women without a college degree, whose marriage rates by 45 have plummeted to 52% for those born between 1930 and 1980, according to research by Cornell University. Young men without a degree are struggling so much as a group that there simply aren't enough with steady jobs and earnings for non-college women to date.
Wow, that's tough. You know what? Shout out to all my unemployed, degreeless men, because I might earn more, but I do not have a degree either. I understand the struggle.
Men are poor, women most affected. Modern women are no longer tied to their gender role. Birth control has freed them from the prison that is their biology, and they are making their own money, sometimes more than men. They can have it all, they can do anything, they can be anything. While at the same time, men are still expected to be the provider. And more importantly, many men still want to be the provider, but they can't. And women, though strong and independent, still want men to be the provider.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider, that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money.
Basically, men are like, we're worried we're not making enough money. And women are like, we're worried men are not making enough money. Hello class, I am Miss On Head. I am substituting for your teacher today. She was arrested for molesting a 12-year-old boy. So today we are learning about the graph. This is the growth in productivity versus hourly compensation graph. And you can trace almost everything bad happening in society back to this graph. As you can see, productivity increased.
Let me move away, hold up. All right, Mrs. On Head. Continue, please.
While compensation barely grew over the same time period, notice they tracked very closely up until around 1972. Now, what happened around 1972, class? Well, the top marginal tax rate was reduced from 70% in 1964 to 50% by 1981. The federal minimum wage began to stagnate. Income going to the 1% rose from 9% in the 60s to 16% in 2023. CEOs also went from making 20 times more than the average worker to making 350 times more than the average worker.
That is crazy.
Anything else? Anything else happen around 1972? Yes, Jimmy, that is correct. Women joined the workforce around this time, but we don't have to get into that today. The fact is, hard work no longer guarantees success, and the will to work is tied to the fruits of your labor. And young men are fed up today because 90% of that fruit is rotten. Now, is there some truth to modern young people being lazy? Sure, I guess. Every generation had lazy people. And we do basically live in late-stage mouse utopia, after all. Young people today are faced with two options: revolution or escapism. And a lot of them are choosing escapism. Many have basically given up, but it's not like they didn't try. They tried and they found out the juice just isn't worth the squeeze, whether it's college, dating, or the job market.
Yeah, pretty much. I have myself given up on finding a job, which is why I'm a VTuber now. That is not why I started VTubing. I did not start VTubing thinking, oh, I'm gonna make some money on the side, I'm gonna be good, but basically, yeah. That is why so many people are streaming now. Also, because most people would rather spend 8 hours playing video games and posting on different social media than spending 8 hours working as a cashier.
And in a way, many young men are kind of choosing revolution. The never-before-seen large shift rightward in young men is a small revolution in a way. They're saying, this isn't working for me, this sucks, I hate this, I want something different. This is also manifesting on the Democrat side in general. The young men that are still voting left are voting further left. You saw this recently in New York City, where Zoran Memdani, a self-proclaimed Democratic socialist, won the Democratic primary. Young men are tired of the establishment, left and right. They're tired of the system, and they want to burn it down and start again. They want something that works for them, because this is not working for them.
Yeah, it's not working for anyone.
You find yourself in a society where 23-year-olds with 4-year college degrees and like initiative who aren't smoking weed every day, if they can't make enough to buy a car, much less a home, much less get married, much less have children, then why should you be surprised when half of them say they prefer socialism?
Huh. Fox News should hire that guy. There is an entire generation of fighting-aged men who are enraged and feel like they have nothing to live for. You should probably start caring. When they saw this airing on Fox News, they saw an angry woman nagging in their faces about how everything wrong in the world is their fault. An all too familiar thing they have been hearing for far too long. But unfortunately for Democrats, nobody under the age of 60 watches Fox News, so this is not really going to have an effect on young men whatsoever. So
I mean, I never saw that video until now, and I'm pretty chronically online, so yeah, this is news to me.
that $20 million. You might still need it, unless we get dragged into another war in the Middle East. If we do get dragged into another war in the Middle East, young men might come running back to the Democratic Party. Maybe not even a George Bush II electric boogaloo will have men coming back to the Democratic Party. Hopefully we don't find out. And as I'm editing this right now, a lot of young people, even the podcast bros, seem pretty upset about the Epstein thing, but we know Democrats won't take advantage of the situation in order to protect the Clintons, so maybe not even this will save them, but we'll see, I guess. Hold on one second. That's better. So that was that video. What do you think of the male loser epidemic? Do you agree with Tommy Lauren? Is it all men's fault? Leave your comments below. I read them all. I am probably reading them right now as you type them. Wait, don't write that. No. You can't say that. No, it doesn't matter if it's with an A. If you like this video, please subscribe. And if you can, donate to me on Patreon or leave a little tip with the little tip jar down below. I'll give it a little heart. It helps the channel and I appreciate it so much. And I will see you guys again soon with a new video, a new slop video. Because I know
yay, more slop!
Bye!
Alright, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was really fun. I think I should watch more ShoeOnHead videos. Comment if you agree because they're always fun. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe, click on the bell, turn on notifications, press the like button, and comment. And I'll see you next time. Bye!